The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Shane Hector of the No BS, No Host Boss Sports Talk Show. We are back in the building once again. Sorry about last week, but I was a little bit under the weather. But I'm back again, and we're ready in full effect. And this week, I got some things to talk to you guys about. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting, and I got some timelines and all kinds of craziness to talk about. So I know you guys are going to be looking like, this dude is off his rocker. So, let's jump right into it. Of course, I'm wearing the pink today because, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, ladies, please go get checked. I want all of you to live long and healthy lives. So, please make sure you go get yourselves checked. Because it is a very tough thing to deal with. So, please make sure you go get yourselves checked. So, that number to call this morning is going to be 301-429-9247. That's going to be the number to call this morning. I want you guys to get ready, get on your sheets. So I'm going to show you some of the topics that we're going to be talking about this morning. So right above me, I want you to pay attention to the screen. So above me, you'll see that for this morning, we're going to talk about this fool right here, Mr. Brown himself. Then we're going to talk about my man Pat Mahomes versus all the other elite quarterbacks of the NFL. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about who might make the World Series this year. We're also going to talk about the 5 games to watch in NCAA. Especially one game, because 2 games out of the 5 games that I'm choosing today, 2 of them are probably going to be trap games. So and I want people to understand why I'm going to say that they're going to be trap games, because I've seen this before. So, though, like I said, number to call, 301-429-9247. That's going to be the number to call this morning. So, let's jump right into it. Antonio Brown. Let's talk about this dude. So, I know people are wondering, why is this dude still relevant? I'm going to tell you why he's still relevant. Because this is a guy that, let's be honest for a second, everybody likes to talk about him. Because he used to play for New England, and it's just like you ask yourself the question, why, Antonio, why? Why? So let's start with that first slide. Let's go to the helmet drama where he posted on his Instagram. Now, most of these pictures are from his Instagram, y'all. This is really where it gets funny. Let's go back to that. So this dude, let's go back. So you said the helmet drama was over. You and I both know it was never about the helmet. I firmly believe that now. It was never about the helmet. He wanted to get out of Oakland. I don't think he wanted to deal with Mike Mayock anymore. And then he calls him a cracker. Then he calls him all kinds of names. And then next thing you know, he gets fined by the team. And next thing you know, he's bounced out of Oakland. Which I always find to be fun. Thank you for Mr. Emmanuel for tuning in this morning. I highly appreciate you. But let's going to keep going on. But let's be real. It was never about the helmet. Now, this is the thing. You're going to piss a lot of people off what you start doing what's best for you. Now, again, if that wasn't a prelude to what he was about to do, come on now. Anybody who was hit watching this dude this whole time would have known that this is exactly what he wanted. This is exactly what he does. Okay? So, I'm not surprised that he did that. Not surprised at all. Everybody could say I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just simply saying I already knew. Because I'm like, there's no way that this dude just acts up just to act up. It just does not make any sense to me. Okay? But that being said, you are gonna see we're gonna see what's gonna happen with Antonio Brown moving forward. Because I mean, the truth is nobody. There are a lot of teams that want him, believe it or not. I mean, Drew Rosenhaus, and anybody who knows Drew Rosenhaus, that's the guy who was the super agent for many of the top players in the league. Drew Rosenhaus was the agent for Tom Brady. T.O. I mean, not Tom Brady, I'm sorry. Rob Gronkowski, T.O., Chad Johnson before he was out of the league. Clinton Portis, and a bunch of big name guys in the NFL, okay? Drew Rosenhaus represented a lot of guys, okay? Now, Drew says there are a lot of teams that are interested in Antonio, but the only reason why they don't want to touch him right now because of the sexual assault allegations that's been brought against him. Although we saw on his Instagram how he posted that these women that accused him were actually with him the whole time. So, I mean, I just think that this is all interesting. It's all funny that, all this stuff is coming out about him. And then there's that. So let's go on to that next slide. So that way we can go through this timeline. Then he posts this. On September 6th, by the way. So he posts, with all these false narratives antagonizing me, it's time for me to control my own narrative. Show the world I'm not the bad guy. Is it? Okay? Show the world you can free yourself from the lies. Become your own person. I'm not just AB, the football player. I'm Antonio Brown, the person who paved the way for himself to be in charge of his own life. Watch for yourself. Link in bio. Free me. That was him asking the Raiders, okay? Asking the Raiders to release him. Okay? That was kind of funny to me because because this right here was actually taken from an Instagram video that he posted about his conversation with Jon Gruden. Okay? Now for Jon Gruden, this was his guy. He loved Antonio. I think that there was a lot of guys that liked Antonio, and then there's just some guys that's just like, dude, what is your problem? But at the end of the day, nonetheless, Antonio Brown became Antonio Brown. Do I believe that he's a better person than what he's portraying himself to be? It's very possible. But this is what he's showing people. And what I'm concerned with, because I've said this before to a friend of mine, so that way everybody understands. It's like that kid that everybody expects to do bad, so he continues to keep doing bad on purpose because that's what people expect from him, and he doesn't feel that need to get better because he feels like nobody is going to care that he's going to get better. Okay? Now, I know to some people that may sound like, that may sound crazy, but it's actually not too far-fetched. Think about it. Like, if you are in school, right, you're the problem kid. You're the kid that got a little bit of issues. You're very good at what you do. You're very good at school. You're very good at everything else. But you have a bad attitude, or you're angry all the time, or things like that. So you're very good at what you do. But then what ends up happening is it's overshadowed by some small behaviors or little things that some people make it seem like you're not a perfect human being. Well, newsflash, none of us are perfect. Neither was he, obviously. And so, did he have an attitude problem? Possibly. Do I believe that he had some issues growing up? Most certainly. But Antonio Brown is the same age as me. He's 31 years old. He's a 31-year-old man. And at some point, you've got to grow up. And, and I think that he wants everybody to focus on the fact that maybe he's going through something that nobody is paying attention to. Do we know that yet? No, we don't know. We only know from his posts that he posts on Instagram and on social media in general. So we have no idea what Mr. Brown is going through. Now, could we all try to attribute it to something else? Who knows? But let's go ahead and keep on going with the slide. So the next one, this right here, let's go a little back. I think we're going to go back to that last one. This is when he ends up with New England. Okay? He ends up with New England, up too far. Well, there we go. Right there. So this right here, this is when he finally ends up in New England. He gets traded. He's happy. Couldn't be more happy than to be a Patriot, right? We all like, yay, congratulations, you got with the New England Patriots. And then we're thinking the Patriots are probably going to go 16-0. Because now they got a receiving core that is just utterly out of this world, and couldn't nobody stop that. But, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Antonio Brown was himself. Because then let's go look at this next post. So, the next post, fight for what you know is right, okay? Then he puts, no weapons forged against me shall prosper, okay? Antonio, what are we going to do with you, okay? Now, I totally get it. I understand it. But there's just certain things you just don't do. And this is one of them. I don't understand how you could sit here and tell me that this was not of your own doing, okay? I'm all about, and it's about players getting what they want in life. Because, look at the NBA. Those guys get whatever they pretty much feel. They pretty much run the NBA. So there's that. Let's look at the facts that, there's a chance that, the Golden State Warriors, and this is just a rumor, this is not confirmed, he might find his way to the Golden State Warriors, and this is talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, okay? Now, if Antetokounmpo finds his way to the Warriors, I'm not even gonna watch the NBA this year because I already know what's gonna happen. So there's that. But let's continue. Next slide. So this next one, this is when he gets cut by New England. It's like ABY, man. Your first game, you had 4 catches, 56 yards, and you caught a touchdown in that big win in Miami for the Patriots. It was a huge win. They straight up demolished them, shut them out, didn't even give them an opportunity. Okay? And he gonna say to Bill Belichick that he appreciates them. Now, I think I've come to realize what the issue is. I don't think he has a problem with his coaches. I think he has a problem with authority. And I'm particularly talking about the front office. Because then he goes on a Twitter tirade against Bob Kraft and starts talking about Bob Kraft's transgressions in Florida and messing with these women down in the massage parlor in Florida, in which Bob Kraft was charged for that. And then he ends up getting off of that. So I could see why he went on that route. I didn't think that was the best way to go about it after he was released from New England, because the thing is, I firmly believe that he probably could have got back on the team, or he could have, kept himself on the team had he not texted that woman about the allegations. Because here's the thing. The NFL didn't even suspend him. So I want people to understand that. I want people to really read this loud and clear as I'm saying these words. The NFL did not suspend Antonio Brown. He did not end up on the commissioner's exempt list. None of that. Okay, so they interviewed the girl. Obviously, nothing came out of it, because if something came out of it, he would have never been able to he would have never ended up on the commissioner's exempt list. And he did not, and they did not suspend him for the rest of the season. So with that being said, there's obviously something deeper there that nobody's paying attention to. But yet and still, he's out of a job. And the only reason why, he's out of a job because of the fact that, he decided to act up in New England. And I firmly believe if he did not send that text and he did not threaten that woman over text message, it's like, here's the thing. If you know you're not guilty, then why would you not let your lawyers handle it? Just let your lawyers handle it. If you're not guilty, let your lawyers handle it, because that's what they're there for. That's what lawyers are for. They're there to defend you. That's what they're there for. And the Patriots was going to ride that train. They were going to ride that train until it was all over, okay? If it came out that he did, in fact, sexually assault these women, then at that point, the Patriots would have had to take the appropriate action based on the evidence that's presented. Simple as that. I mean, that's just how this works. But instead, he doesn't do that. You send the girl some threatening texts and say, "Come on, dude, you're making yourself look even more guilty than you are." So if I'm Antonio, which I'm pretty sure he's somewhere right now, just not getting it, he's gonna have to realize that there's just some things you just don't do. You know, there's just some things you just don't do. And it's unfortunate because now you got one of the best receivers for the past 6 years. For the past 6 years, has been one of the best receivers in the league. And mind you, he's less than 6 feet tall. Okay, he's less than 6 feet tall. He's one of the best receivers in the league. It's utterly ridiculous how this dude gets open and makes the catches he makes. But unfortunately, it's all overshadowed because of his antics and because of how he's portrayed himself, how he posted on Instagram. In fact, we're going to go to that next one. The next line, this is when he says goodbye to Tom Brady, and he says go win it for me, okay? And I'm sure, Tom Brady, because Tom Brady did talk about it, he said it's just, a difficult situation. I remember he said that. Now, the thing is, again, Antonio Brown's got to stop getting in Antonio Brown's way. How is this going to cement his legacy? Well, let's go on to the next one. So, this was the only touchdown that he caught all year. And then he's going to give that away to a fan. So, and that was as of September 20th. That was a couple of weeks ago. Okay? Then let's go to the very last one. Now, this one is just very... I used to want to protect my name in situations. Now I just want to protect my peace and not let whoever think whatever. So this goes back to my point earlier. And what I was saying about individuals who act up. And then what happens is, because people are so used to them being acting up, he just was like, well, I'm gonna let people think whoever they want to think about me, because I feel that I need to get better, because people are gonna think what they want to think about me anyway. Which, again, I get it. But at the same time, show these fans out here that you're not the person that they're making you out to be. Show these people that you're not the monster that everybody is making you out to be. You're a much better person than that, and if you know in your heart and your soul that you are a better person than what the Steelers is making you out to be, the Raiders are making you out to be, the Patriots. Well, I'm not going to say the Patriots as a whole. I'm just going to say Bob Kraft, because you and Bob Kraft got into it, and Bob Kraft has made you out to be. Then what I would do is just take the high road in all these situations. Get over your legal situation and go from there. If it turns out that these women's allegations end up dismissed, then you know for a fact that there's that. You understand what comes with that. Because now you've got to focus on getting back into the NFL. Then you made it clear that you want to come back to the NFL. You made that abundantly clear because you publicly said that. So I think for Antonio Brown's legacy, and it's going to be sad to say this because I think this guy I'm about to name is one of the greatest receivers of all time, T.O. He's going to go down as the T.O. of this time. Because there is no way a receiver like this, how great he is just going to go out like this. But, again, we will never know. So, with that being said, let's go on to the next one. Right now, folks, comment, like, share. Please let me know what you think. The number to call is going to be 301-429-9247. But real quick, folks, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, we're going to talk about my man Patrick Mahomes versus all these quarterbacks in the NFL. So don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
What's up, everybody? I'm here at Bowie State University, representing for WBGR. We're here to see if some of these college students know their breakfast trivia. Do you know your cereal? So I'm here in the Student Center with a couple of students. How y'all feeling? Good. So I want to test y'all knowledge on breakfast trivia. Y'all ready? Yeah. All right, so the first one is finish the slogan. I'm cuckoo for
Cocoa Puffs.
All right, silly rabbit.
Tricks of the kids.
2 scoops of. 2 scoops of.
Cornflakes.
Comes in a purple box, sunshine on it.
Raisin bread.
They're magically delicious.
Wait,
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
All right. Snap, crackle, pop.
Rice Krispies.
Yup. Kid tested, mother approved.
Oh, I don't know. Not a mom.
Whose mascot is a tiger?
Flakes. No.
Yes.
Tony. What you say?
Mascot is a toucan bird. Whose mascot is Fred Flintstone?
Fruity Pebbles.
The taste you can see.
Taste you can see.
That one sounds familiar.
The taste you can see.
The taste you can see.
Oh, that's what is that?
Oh, you phoning a friend? Here you got a phone. Which one of these cartoons was not made into a cereal? You got 3 choices. A, Donkey Kong. B, Pokemon. C, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Trick question, they all were. Oh wow.
What?
I never seen no SpongeBob cereal. Kid tested, mother approved.
Checks. No. Kicks.
Yup, you got it. Some of these college students definitely know their trivia. It was fun interviewing them to see what their knowledge was. Hopefully next time we can get a couple of more students at some other schools and test their knowledge. Do you know your cereals?
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some more stuff to talk to you guys about. So let's talk about my man Patrick Mahomes. Pat Mahomes. We got to talk about him versus some of the elite quarterbacks of the NFL. And I'm going to tell you why we're going to talk about him. Because I had this debate a couple weeks ago. Which I always think it's funny. Because it seems like everybody, for some strange reason, they think that Patrick Mahomes is better than some of the elite quarterbacks of the NFL. Now, I'm going to just be frank, right? I'm just going to be real with y'all. If any of y'all think that Patrick Mahomes is better than most of the elite quarterbacks of the NFL, y'all are sadly mistaken. Let's be real. Drew Brees is out right now because he's got a thumb injury. Do I think that Patrick Mahomes is better than him? No. Who has he played? Now, he can't help his schedule. I'm not going to say he can't help his schedule, but the fact that you came that close to losing to the Detroit Lions is like, come on, dude. Like, the Lions ain't been nice since Megatron was there. That's how I know the Lions ain't been nice. So, I mean, oh, no. But, let's look at the facts. Now, do I believe he's better than Phillip Rivers? Possibly. Most certainly, actually. Because here's a stat line that I want people to understand, right? Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Let's look at the guys who, I mean, I don't know. They've only been doing it for so long. I mean, you know, if I had to say who I think is the best quarterback right now, I mean, obviously that's going to be Tom. Tom terrific. Let's be honest for a second. Pat Mahomes, he's playing out of his mind. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's not. This dude is less than 23 years old. He's playing lights out in this NFL since he started playing. Do I believe he's on pace to get 50 touchdowns again? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I believe he's probably, if not, he probably might break Peyton Manning's record. But that's assuming he's throwing 4 to 5 touchdowns a game. That's assuming he does that. Okay? Now, he's 4-0 this year. He hasn't thrown a single interception. He's thrown for 1,500 yards. Okay? And so I like what he's bringing to the table. Okay? But what I'm concerned with is, let's look at his wins. Okay? He's got wins over Jacksonville, Oakland, Baltimore, Detroit. The thing about Detroit, the last 2 games were literally decided by 7 points or less. Now that's an issue for me, and I'm going to explain why. Because that means that, well, I'm not going to put this all on him because the defense ain't do their job. But when he played Oakland, he was sacked twice. But the only reason why Oakland didn't win that game, because unfortunately Oakland's offense is god awful, and there's really no way they can keep up with them. Because see, one thing I can tell people about Patrick Mahomes that I don't like about him, and that people have to understand about Patrick Mahomes, he is a one-quarter quarterback. So the thing is like, this is what New England did to him last season. Last season, when they played him twice, okay, once in the regular season, once in the AFC Championship. What ended up happening was they shut him out first half. And the reason why they did that, because they know that in that third quarter or that fourth quarter, he drops a ridiculous amount of points for some strange reason. And defenses don't know how to stop him. Now, that also attribute that to his offensive line, because his offensive line, they make a lot of adjustments. Because one thing I will give to Andy Reid, out of a lot of coaches out here, he's one of the best adjustment coaches, along with Doug Peterson and Bill Belichick. Because those 3 coaches, I can tell you right now, they are some of the best adjustment coaches I've seen in the NFL. Because if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, the reason why they were able to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl was because they made enough adjustments in order to win that game. And it's the same thing this season. They make enough adjustments in order to win the game. That's what good coaching does. It's the same thing with Andy Reid. Andy Reid, excuse me. Andy Reid last year was 12-4. Now, when they played the Patriots in Foxborough last year, they lost 43-40, right? But the reason why it wasn't as lopsided as it sounds, as it was because initially the Patriots had a lot of points to begin with, and then in the second half, Patrick Mahomes decides to come back, and he drops like 28 points in the third quarter. Then he drops more points in the fourth quarter. Excuse me. So with that being said, what ended up happening is you have a situation where now you have to consider, what kind of quarterback is Patrick Mahomes? Is he elite? I think he's on his way there. Because it's his sophomore season. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's not playing well, because in his first four games, he's thrown 10 touchdowns. Now, there's still 12 more games to go. So let's say, for the sake of argument, he gets 10 touchdowns for every 4 games. He's on par to get 40. He's on par to get 40 touchdowns. At least. So, and he is on the Madden cover, so I don't know if that Madden curse might catch up with him. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there for those of you watching. I'm just throwing that out there. So here's the situation. What I'm gonna say is this. Let's look at Tom. We're gonna look at Tom. Tom, at the age that he is 42 years old. 42 years old. He's also 4-0. Okay? He's also 4-0. And what's even more crazy about that is not only he's 4-0, but he's got he's got arguably the best defense in football right now. Now, I know what people are thinking before I crown the Patriots, because I know a lot of people are about to get mad at me for that. Let me just I'll explain the wins that they legitimately had, okay? So, they dog smacked the Jets. They dog smacked the Dolphins, okay? And they dog smacked the Steelers, okay? The only team that gave them a run for their money was the Buffalo Bills, who were also undefeated. The Bills won that lost that game 16-10 to New England. Now, I will give the Bills this, though, because a lot of people don't give them credit. The Bills' defense was top 5 last year. This year, it's the same thing. They have a really good defense. That team, I hate to say it, I know everybody wants to talk about Sam Darnold, but, you know, he got mono, so we're going to have to wait and see how we do with that. Okay? This week, the Patriots got to play the Redskins, so they're going to be right here in the DMV. So, for you Redskins fans that are going to that game, I mean, I'm not so sure how this is going to go because it's probably not going to end well. And I was, planning on going to that game, but I changed my mind. I was like, do I really want to be at that game and watch the Patriots trounce them? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think it's a good idea. But what I will say is this. The Patriots are going to be doing some special things. They're going to be doing some very special things. And the great thing is what I've been saying for the longest, is that with Tom Brady in his stats, in this day and age, okay? Right now, he's thrown for the past 4 games, 1,061 yards, 7 touchdown passes, and 1 interception. The 1 interception coming from the last game against the Bills. Now, yes, stat-wise, Mahomes is performing better. Stat-wise. But let's be honest about Patrick Mahomes, and I want people to understand this. Does he have the clutch gene in order to beat elite quarterbacks like Tom Brady, like Aaron Rodgers, like Phillip Rivers? Well, if he beats Phillip Rivers, it's usually because Phillip Rivers beat himself. Because the first time he saw Phillip Rivers last year, they won that game 38-28. And unfortunately, it was only because Phillip Rivers thrown, 2 picks, and then they fumbled 3 times in that football game. You can't turn over the ball 5 times and expect to win a football game. It just doesn't work that way. And on top of that, to turn the football over to that team. So that's the only reason why he beat Phillip Rivers last year, because when Phillip Rivers saw him the second time, you saw what happened. So there was that. And mind you, they had to beat him in the Arrowhead. So there's that. So the Chargers ain't no slouch. And I'm pretty sure that Phillip this year is probably going to beat them, because the way things are looking, Melvin Gordon just got back. So now that they got Melvin Gordon back, they're going to have Mike Williams. They're going to have Keenan Allen. They're going to have all these receivers back. I mean, they're going to be a pretty good football team. And then the defense, well, they're getting everybody back on the back end, because they're getting Casey Hayward. They got Desmond King. They're going to have Derwin James. When they get Derwin James back, okay, Derwin James is going to play lights out. I'm sorry, not when they get him back. They got him back. Derwin James is going to play lights out. So here's the thing. That Chargers defense is going to show up, because you got Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram going in. So here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're also going to compare Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers this season, 1,069 yards, also thrown 6 touchdown passes and 1 interception. Okay? But what do Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers have that Patrick Mahomes does not have? He's got that Super Bowl ring. And to be honest with you, I think that the only time that Patrick Mahomes is going to get this ring is that one or two things. Either New England lays an egg against the Chiefs, or Tom Brady leaves the NFL. That's when he's going to get a ring. Because I don't think he's going to get it right now. Not while that dude is still playing. I mean, that's just what it is. Because, I mean, I know you guys have seen the stats. I know everybody's seen it. And so, and now we're going to talk about my man. We've got to talk about my man, Phillip. See, Phillip, so far this season, 1,254 yards, 7 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. Okay? He's throwing pretty well. So that's a little over 300 yards a game so far in the 4 games that we played so far this season. So with that being said, this is what's going to happen. Do I think Patty Mahomes is going to be better than most guys? Absolutely. But at the same time, the one thing I will say is, did he play anybody that has a legit defense? Well, everybody can say the Baltimore Ravens, but let's be honest. Jimmy Smith is hurt. Tavon Young is out. Marlon Humphrey's the only corner they got. And the Ravens at this point are trying to trade for Jalen Ramsey, but that doesn't look like that trade's going to happen because the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shad Khan, already said that he's not going to trade him. And he would rather have him on the team. But little does Shad Khan know, he must not know Jalen Ramsey like we all know. So, I get it, that's his player, but he better franchise tag him because Jalen Ramsey is like, I'm out. After this season, bye. And that would be the best fit for the Baltimore Ravens to get Jalen Ramsey. And if they get Jalen Ramsey, you add that with Jimmy Smith, you add that with Tavon Young and Marlon Humphrey, and Earl Thomas, you have arguably the best secondary in football on the same team. The only problem is that pass rush, because Matthew Judon can't do it by himself. He just can't. Sorry. Because T-Sizzle being gone, it's actually showing right now they really need him. And then not to mention C.J. Mosley not being in the middle, that really is hurting the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if I'm the Ravens, I find a way to get C.J. Mosley back. But the only thing is, I don't know if y'all want to deal with that contract, though, because it's 5 years, $85 million. So, it is what it is. So, I'm going to end that to say this. Patrick Mahomes versus some of the elite quarterbacks of the NFL. Yes, the stats are there. 10 touchdown passes, a little over 1,400 yards passing. Okay, we get that. I understand it. Nobody understands that more than me. But at the same time, what I'm also going to say is this. He got lucky against the Detroit Lions because there was many plays that the Lions had left on the field. The Ravens, they left a few plays on the field as well because it seems like the Chiefs' defense, for some strange reason, actually showed up. It actually showed up. So there's that. So we're going to see what the Chiefs look like this week coming up. So, really quick, is it, folks? I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, we're going to talk about the World Series. Don't go anywhere in the No BS Show.
Sports is what we do. It's the fast track at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B-team, beatdowns, and knockouts, doubleheaders, playoffs, touchdowns, smackdowns, on the mat or on the track. The spirit of a champion. The triple-double. Make that double front flip. This is what we do.
Hello and welcome to the Breakfast Mojo. I'm your host, Comedian Koi. We are back. Once again, this time it's King versus Clown. The clown, which we're talking about here, is none other than McDonald's hotcakes. And now we're going to also try the Burger King sweet syrupy stacks. Look at the box. Isn't that cute? Little box. Alright, so we're going to try and see which is going to be the preferred pancakes, McDonald's or BK, Burger King. Yeah, so it's nice and hot. So let's see what happens here, folks. Let's see what I'm going to give a review. So they come with 3 stacks, as you can see. 3. Oh, look at the syrup just oozing. Okay. Let's try this. Let's make a comparison. I need some water. These are falling apart. McDonald's, they didn't fall apart at all, but these are can't even really keep their form after pouring syrup on them. There's definitely a distinct taste between the two of them. Similar, but yet distinctly different. But I noticed that Burger King pancakes are a lot more sweeter by itself. The syrup, it really doesn't need syrup. It really does taste like a cake, literally. McDonald's, on the other hand, really not much to go off of. It just tastes like bread. It's really your preference, folks. Do you want hot bread? Or do you want a stack of cakes? Because that's what it tastes like to me. So here's for my review. I'm gonna give this a breakfast booty. I'm gonna give it a breakfast booty. It's a breakfast booty. And I'm gonna give McDonald's a breakfast blah. Because it's really nothing fantastic, even with the syrup added to it. And even without the syrup, it's really nothing fantastic. I could at least say that BK does have a distinct taste without the syrup, which is more sweet, if that's what you prefer. So, would it be the McClown or would it be the King? You know, let us know at The Breakfast Mojo on WBGR Entertainment. I'm your host, Comedian Coy. We'll have some more stuff coming your way. We're going to even visit a chef that's going to cook for us, and we're going to eat it, huh? Because that's what we do at The Breakfast Mojo.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the road to the World Series is on. It is all the way on, and I've been saying it. I said it. I thought of it, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. The Nats are showing everybody. The Washington Nationals are showing everybody they did not need Bryce Harper. Not to mention, they don't need Bryce Harper. I mean, they won a playoff game, okay? They won a playoff game, beat the Milwaukee Brewers. Now they're going up against the LA Dodgers, who is the number one seed in the National League. Excuse me. Now they won a game, so they're 1-1 with the LA Dodgers, right? Now here's the thing: if they win, which I don't think they will, but if they beat the LA Dodgers, then the only team that they're going to have to contend with, because I just don't trust, I just don't trust the Braves. I just don't, is the St. Louis Cardinals. But that's not to say that can't happen. But if they do beat the Dodgers, I think the team they'll see is most certainly going to be the St. Louis Cardinals, because the Braves, I mean, that's cute. That's cute. You did a number 2 seed. That's cute, but my heart is telling me that I don't think that's going to happen. So that's just what it is. Now, that's not to say this though. If you're a Bryce Harper fan and you live in the DMV, I'm just going to tell you right now, I hate to say this, you might as well just find a new team, bro, because the Phillies is obviously out of it for a reason. You brought that man in, and they locked into that contract for a long time, and you got to pay him all of that money. You got to pay him all of that money, and it's like, you know, I know Baker Mayfield always wants to talk about people throwing him in the trash. Well, that's what we're going to do with the Phillies. We're going to throw them in the trash because it's very obvious. It's highly obvious that now we know what the problem is. Bryce Harper can get his hits. Bryce Harper can do all the things that he does. But the truth is the Phillies ain't went nowhere. Now, I get it. Can't put all the blame on him because of the fact that, you know, the team should have performed better this year. But the truth is, there's really no rhyme or reason why you should have not at least somewhat get a wild card. But no, you ain't do that. So that's why I'm sitting here talking about these guys now. Okay? And the Nationals, they're a wild card team. So now they're gonna play, they're literally playing from behind. So they're gonna be on the road most of the time. So what's gonna be interesting is today is gonna be the New York Yankees against the Minnesota Twins. Now, I don't like the Twins in this game. I don't think that the Twins are going to win this one. I believe that the Yankees are probably going to sweep them. Because that first time first off, you had to go to Yankee Stadium. I'm going to be the first to tell you this right now. There are 2 difficult stadiums to play in. Actually, 3 difficult stadiums to play in all of baseball. It's hard to play in Fenway. It's hard to play in New York. And it's hard to play in Houston. Those are the 3 stadiums that is very, very difficult to play in because it's loud and those fans get riled up, especially Yankees and Red Sox fans. So Fenway, everybody knows with that green monster and the history of Boston and the Boston Red Sox. Believe me when I tell you, there is no way on God's green earth that the Twins are going to beat the Yankees. But I'm calling for a sweep. So I'm gonna, is it so, you know, and that's just what it is. So they'll see the Yankees tonight. It'll be at 5 o'clock. So if anybody wants to watch that game, so I'm pretty sure that game's gonna be pretty much over with. And then at 9 o'clock tonight, you're gonna have the Tampa Bay Marlins versus the Houston Astros. Now, again, I think that this one might be a little bit interesting, but I'm pretty sure the Astros are gonna probably beat them. But I think they're gonna beat them 4-1 and call it a day. I mean, this is what it is. This is not even a question. This is what it is. Like, this is not even a question. It's gonna be over with. So, you know, the poor Marlins don't even know what's about to happen to them, because the Astros have one of the highest amount of points in one season. But right behind the New York Yankees, because the Yankees have the most runs scored in this season. And with that being said, the Yankees are gonna win. They'll beat the Twins. They'll see the Astros. That's what I believe. And then after that, out of those two, I got the Yankees going to the World Series. Now, that's on the AL as an AL side, the American League. So that's what I believe. I think the Astros will make it, but I think they'll fall short in the ALCS. Now in the NLCS, I'm gonna call for the upset just because I want DMV fans to get ready for this. I'm gonna call for the upset. I firmly believe that the Nationals have a good enough team to beat the LA Dodgers. Because the problem with the Dodgers, and I've seen this last year with them, they, for some reason in the playoffs, their outfielders just don't play well. Their defense gets lax, and then they'll score points. Don't get it twisted. They'll score some runs, but for some strange reason, the pitching ends up not being that great, and then whoever's their closers, for some strange reason, don't close very well. And so then what ends up happening is they end up losing games within the last 3 to 4 innings. Which I don't know why, but they do. So, and the Nationals strive on those innings for them to do that. So, that's why the Nationals, I firmly believe they can win. They will beat them, and I firmly believe they're going to see the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, unfortunately for Nats fans, y'all not going to the World Series this year. I think that you'll see the St. Louis Cardinals, and then the Cardinals will beat the Nats, and then that'll be the end of that. And then next thing you know, the Cardinals will see the Yankees, and then the Yankees will beat them 4-1, and that'll be the end of that. And the Yankees will win the World Series and add a 28th championship. I don't want to say it because as much as I did not want to say it, but I just know the Yankees. They're on a mission. This is a team that's been on a mission since, who knows when. Like, they've been on a mission this whole time. Because what's been happening is they've got 11 straight playoff wins versus Minnesota anyway. And so the Yankees right now, they're just playing lights out. They're playing lights out. These guys are 103-59. So it ain't no different than the record that they had last year. They played extremely well last year, and they're doing it again this year. Now, it's just that the Red Sox just happened to be the better team last year, but, it was what it was. Now, the Twins, what's really odd about this is they're 101-61. You would think this would be a better game, but I just don't think that the Twins have the firepower. Now, the Astros are 107-55, but I just don't think that they got the firepower to beat the New York Yankees, especially with the pitching they got, the roster they have, and it's like, and my thing is what even is more crazy to me. Masahiro as a Tanaka right now, he has an ERA of 1.5. Okay, so right now, this is the team. To me, right now, the Yankees is the team to beat. Period. Nothing else to talk about. It is what it is, and everybody can call me crazy. I got the Yankees going to the World Series, getting that 28th championship. The parade, just start getting the confetti ready and getting the parade ready, because we all know the Yankees probably going to win it all. As much as it pains me as a person who loves his Red Sox to say it, but it is what it is. But I digress. So, ladies and gentlemen, going to take a small commercial break. When I come back, we're going to end the show on the top 5 games of the NCAA. So don't go anywhere in the No BS show.
What's up, everybody? I'm here at Bowie State University, representing for WBGR. We're here to see if some of these college students know their breakfast trivia. Do you know your cereal? So I'm here in the student center with a couple of students. How y'all feeling? Good. So I want to test y'all knowledge on breakfast trivia. Y'all ready? Yeah. All right, so the first one is finish the slogan. I'm cuckoo for
Cocoa Puffs.
All right, silly rabbit.
Tricks of the kids.
2 scoops of. 2 scoops of. Comes in a purple box, sunshine on it.
Raisin bread.
They're magically delicious.
Wait,
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
All right. Snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispies. Yup. Kid tested, mother approved.
Oh, I don't know. Not a mom.
Whose mascot is a tiger?
Flakes. No.
Yes.
Tony, what you say?
Mascot is a toucan bird. Whose mascot is Fred Flintstone?
Fruity Pebbles.
The taste you can see.
Taste you can see.
That one sounds familiar.
The taste you can see.
The taste you can see.
Oh, that's what is that?
Oh, you phoning a friend? Here you got a phone. Which one of these cartoons was not made into a cereal? You got 3 choices. A, Donkey Kong. B, Pokemon. C, SpongeBob. SpongeBob. Trick question, they all were. Oh wow.
What?
I never seen no SpongeBob cereal. Kid tested, mother approved.
Checks. No. Kicks.
Yup, you got it. Some of these college students definitely know their trivia. It was fun interviewing them to see what their knowledge was. Hopefully next time we can get a couple of more students at some other schools and test their knowledge. Do you know your cereals?
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final topic of the day, so let's go ahead and look at that slide. We're going to look at the my top 5 football games to watch today. So I want everybody to get ready because it's about to be a fun week of football. Like, it's going to be fun. So in a couple of hours, we're about to see college football at its finest. Let's jump right into it. So, first game we're going to take a look at. Let's go straight to it. So, the Wolverines versus the Iowa State Hawkeyes. Now, the Wolverines are ranked 19. The Iowa Hawkeyes are ranked number 14. Okay. Here's the thing that I want people to understand. Big Blue, I don't trust Big Blue in this game. They only put up 130 points this year in the 4 games. Okay. That is literally just under 30 points a game. But they allowed 77 points this year. Okay. Now, I want people to understand something. Okay, means that they got a problem. Because, see, the Iowa Hawkeyes, they put up 134 points this year, but they've only allowed 34 points in the 4 games that they played. Do you know what that means? That means that they're literally allowing just under 8 points a game. That's a huge problem for the Wolverines. It's a very huge problem. I'm going to tell you why it's a huge problem. Because you're not putting up enough points against that team. And Iowa right now, they are on a winning streak. So with that being said, is it time for Jim Harbaugh to go? I have no idea yet. I just know that if there's a game that he needs to win, it's most certainly this one. Because if he doesn't win this one, you might as well just say that this man's job is on the line. Send him home. And that'll be the end of that. And the thing is, what makes it worse, you're on the road. You're on the road, sir. So you have fun with that. You let me know how that goes. Now, that's not to say this, I firmly believe that, there's going to be an opportunity here. Okay? I think that the Iowa Hawkeyes, they might find a way to lay an egg. Because they always do against, spotlight teams. Because, one thing I've learned about... Okay, I've learned about these Big Ten schools is that when the spotlight gets a little too big, sometimes, it might end up killing them in the wrong one. Okay, now Iowa right now they're on a 4-game win streak. Okay, on a 4-game win streak. Okay, they're at Michigan, so this is going to be a good thing for the Wolverines. You'll have to go to them. But for the Hawkeyes, this is what you need to lean on. You need to lean on your running backs. Okay? Mekhi Sargent, okay, is your leading rusher. 299 yards so far this season. Lean on your playmakers. Lean on them. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have guys who's going to show up. Now, Nate Stanley is your quarterback, 965 yards passing in 4 games. Your leading receiver, Emar Smith-Marset. Definitely want to feed him the ball. But also the guy that's going to be the unsung heroes that I hear is going to be Brandon Smith. I feel like Brandon Smith is going to have a big game because one thing about Michigan is they're very good at is taking away their best option. Now, Brandon Smith is a big kid, 6'2", 218, junior out of Lake Cormorant, Mississippi. So what I foresee in this game is if the Hawkeyes are able to get the ball into the hands of their playmakers, they might have an opportunity here to beat this Michigan team on the road in Big Blue. Now, it's going to be difficult because Big Blue is a very, very tough place to play. It's a very tough place to play, so I'll be the first to say that. But I feel like if these receivers can get wide open, Stanley can hit as a Brandon Smith easy. He can hit him. Sure he can, because let's be honest, Michigan hasn't had good corners since the Charles Woods and Ty Law days. So that's just what it is. I mean, that's just me being honest. That's just my take on it. So there's no way. So with that being said, I got Iowa winning this game 38-28. Game over for the Wolverines. It is what it is. Moving on. Next game. My WVU. Now I'm only putting this up there because because one of my friends, my boy Ryan. He's a trainer, really great guy. He went to West Virginia, and the thing is, WVU, they've always had a potent offense for years. So this is what I'm gonna say. Sam Ehlinger is the Heisman guy. We don't know if he's gonna win the Heisman, but he's definitely up for it, right? Texas is ranked number 11. Now, here's my issue with this game. This is a trap game. I'm going to tell you why it's a trap game. West Virginia, for some strange reason, they always find a way. Okay? They always find a way to beat teams that nobody expects them to beat. Now, they're unranked. Okay? It's alumni weekend. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a very, very interesting. It's just going to be a very, very interesting day. So this is what I firmly believe. Now, if Ehlinger can get going early and keep that crowd quiet, he'll be fine. But if he doesn't keep that crowd quiet, which might end up happening, they're going to have a very serious issue. They're going to have a very serious issue. Okay. All right. Now, let me say this. Okay. They got good quarterbacks. But what I'm concerned with is who's going to step up. Because Ehlinger is gonna light this defense up. Because unfortunately, West Virginia, they don't have a good defense. They never have. You saw what happened last year with Kyler Murray. When they played Kyler Murray against Will Grier, Kyler Murray lit that defense up. He put up over 60 points. So if he can light them up, I'm sure Ehlinger could light them up too. But if I'm going to choose who's going to win this game, I'm going to choose the Texas Longhorns just because the paper says I got to choose the Texas Longhorns because I don't see how this Mountaineers team, not with this roster, because nobody jumps out and just says thing that's going to be pretty decent to me. I mean, they've got good quarterbacks, but the guy that stands out to me is Tevin. That stands out to me is the junior receiver. I'm sorry, not the junior receiver, the senior receiver from Clearwater, Florida, George Campbell. We'll see what he does. 6'4", 183, but we'll see what he does. And at the end of the day, we'll see what this Mountaineers team is made of. I just don't believe they're going to do anything, but it's possible. But Sam Ehlinger is going to light him up. So, next game. I got to move a little faster today. So, next game. Gators versus the Tigers. Another trap game. So, the Gators is ranked 10. Auburn is ranked 7. Let's be honest for a second. For some reason, everybody could talk to me about the Florida Gators. Now, there's only one thing I don't like about the Florida Gators. When I saw that Miami team played them the way they played Florida, yeah, I don't think that the Gators is ready for prime time. I don't think they're ready. It is what it is. The Auburn Tigers are probably going to trounce them. So, and now I'm not going to say that it ain't going to be a tough cookie game. I don't think it's going to be that. But I am going to say that to say this. I think that the Gators have an opportunity to win. So, but I don't think they're going to win this one. I think that Auburn is going to roll over them and then call it a day. So, that's the game. I've got this game winning 45-27 Auburn. Next game. The next one. This is a trap game. Texas Tech versus Oklahoma State. Now, Texas Tech is 2-2. Oklahoma State is ranked 21 in the NCAA. There's only one problem I have with this game. One issue. And I'm going to say this. Texas Tech, historically, for some odd reason, when they play Oklahoma State, that's the game that they always, for some odd reason, drop a ridiculous amount of points. And if Oklahoma State finds a way to lose, which I'm pretty sure they will, what's going to end up happening is Texas Tech will go to 3-2. And then, Oklahoma State going to drop right out of the top 25. And that's going to be the end of that. Now, I don't trust them. Never have, never will. And like I said, trap game, but I'm choosing Texas Tech for the upset for this game. They'll beat the Oklahoma State Cowboys 28-20 game. That's it. Moving on. Next game. This is the game of the day. Michigan State Spartans versus the Ohio State University Buckeyes. So, let's talk about Ohio State. Now, Ohio State, I'll be the first to say this, they are a very good football team. Justin Fields has yet to throw an interception. I am saying that right now. He has yet to throw an interception. All right? This kid is playing lights out. I have seen. Now, only thing is he is playing against a very stingy defense in the Michigan State Spartans. Although this year it hasn't really reflected it because I've been trying to figure that out because they are now 4-1. They put up 157 points, but they've only given up 75 points the whole year. Now, in the Big Ten, I want people to understand something. There's only 4 teams that have some of the top defenses in football. Right now, Wisconsin is definitely up there at number 1 because they've only allowed 7 points a game because they've only allowed 29 points in the 4 games they played. Same thing with Iowa, only 34 points allowed in these games this year. Penn State's only allowed 30 points this year in the 4 games that they played. And Ohio State, who's only allowed 43 points. Now, I want people to understand this. You divide that number times 4, that means they only allow like 10 points a game. I'm sorry. In the 5 games they played, they've only allowed 43 points. So it's literally less than 7 points a game. It's not fair. So Ohio State is putting up 200, but they put up 262 points. That is the most points in the Big Ten. So Ohio State's not playing. And like I said, Justin Fields has not turned over the football. So since he hasn't turned over the football, that's what you're dealing with. Do I think this is a trap game for Ohio State? Absolutely, because Michigan State ain't no slouch. But I don't believe that Michigan State will win. Ohio State will win this game 58-28. That will be the end of that. I think they're going to smash them because that defense for Ohio State is legitimate. It's legitimate, and they're showing that even though Urban Meyer is gone, they're showing that they are the truth, and they're showing that they can play well. So there's that. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So those are all the games. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. I want you guys to join my Facebook viewer group, okay? Go to the No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show viewer group page. I want everybody to take a look at that. Then, let's go to my YouTube page. Go to No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show. I want everybody to go ahead and take a look at that, okay? Look at past shows. Like, comment, share. Let me know what you think. Also, follow my blog on Blogger. I got some articles coming out very soon. No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk blogspot.com. Follow my social media at insane_Shane29, underground SB29, shiz_29, no BS, no holds barred, Instagram page, and then also my Facebook, Shane.Hector. Is it on Facebook? Go to Shane Hector. And if you want to advertise at the show, email me at undergroundsports at LLC. As an LC at gmail.com. That's it. So, Team No BS, the district, shout out to all my people. Thank you, Mr. Brandon Williams, for being my great engineer. I want to thank all of you for the things that you do, and everybody here at WBGR. No BS is out of the building. Peace!